We're going to be getting into our game number 1 here in our Masters Division Finals. Edwyn Mesman, forced to go first, leads out with that Mega Kangaskhan EX.
And we're not going to be seeing a hard open of a Precious Trolley here, not when it's in the prize cards. That is the one thing that can sometimes bail out a going first start. Instead, it is just going to be starting off with that run errand. When it is in the active spot, you can draw 2 cards from your deck. There will be a couple of basic Pokemon still found. We do have Mega Absol, the other main attacker of the deck, and that Petrant with the Subjugating Chains ability, giving you that excellent flexibility with your active Pokemon by bringing basic Dark Pokemon to the active.
And already a Toad School in hand, but the timing of this card is going to be so integral for Edwin. If you place it down too early, it can be easily picked off by Drew with the likes of Solrock. So you have to time this only exactly when you think you can get the most value out of it, especially when you use Mega EX Pokemon that give up 3 prize cards. If you give your opponent that easy 1 prize knockout, that can lead into an easy Petrant EX or a Pheasantipity EX knockout later down the line. So Edwin already being very careful here.
Yeah, meanwhile, as we head over to Drew's first turn, looks like we start off with a manual attachment of that Metal Energy onto the Mega Morwile EX. Definitely not an ideal starter. This is something that Drew tends to favor in the later stages of the game. Just bank a couple of energy on it to finish things off, either with that Gobble Down or that huge Bite attack. But then going to be following up with an Earthen Vessel. And I don't know about you, Joe. I was getting a quick look at that hand. I'm not sure how much else Drew has other than this, you know.
Oh boy, that could be a huge issue for Drew if there's not much search for early basic Pokemon. You have not only a draw engine in your basics, but also that's how you spring up into your Golden Go EX, of course. So Drew is going to take a quick look here. Actually, the Mega Morwile EX, you've already mentioned it, Freya, is a great attacking option here, where you don't need to chain these Make It Rain attacks with Golden Go EX.
Absolutely.
If you just get through perhaps 1 Mega Evolution Pokemon, take off an easy bench Pokemon, then you don't need that reach with your Superior Energy Retrieval. You can rely on Gobble Down to close out games, even into Mega EXs.
And this is, I'm sure, why Drew has confidence, even up against a tech like Toedscruel, knowing that there is a more less energy-hungry attacker that can take that big, as you said, last Mega Evolution knockout for an attack.
Drew going to be shuffling up then. Let's scout the remainder of this hand and whether or not it is simply just going to be passing action over. That's not what he wants to see if it is.
Giving the Petrant a quick read. Now, what else is in this hand? Is it really as bad as you might think?
Ooh,
oh
yeah.
my, it's a Boss's Orders onto the Mega Absol. Is that going to be it for Drew?
Just passing action over.
Oh, no.
Drew simply trying to slow down the run errand ability from Mega Kangaskhan EX. The Petrant EX's Subjugating Change can bring Darkness Pokemon into the active, but obviously not back out of the active. It cannot bring itself up and poison it. So really, Drew, all he can do right now is try and stop Edwin from drawing cards.
Yeah, now there will be a way for Edwin to play around this. Can go ahead and use that Ultra Ball and pick up that Yveltal from Mega Evolution. Does have a retreat cost of 0, so that in combination with the Petrant EX, you can bring it into the active and then use that free retreat to go back to your Mega Kangaskhan. So Edwin does have the answer for this boss stall.
Yeah, and that's already being thought about right now from Edwin. It also has enough hit points to not be too vulnerable against a Solrock option. And we have to bear in mind that Edwin not only is going to lean into the Toedscruel, but also with that Claw of Darkness attack on the Mega Absol EX, he will try and pick apart certain pieces from Drew, whether it is Superior Energy Retrievals, or whether it is going to be the likes of Professor Turo's Scenario, because let's not forget, the clutch attack on this Yveltal can still be really influential.
Yeah, good 20 damage and stopping your opponent from retreating. We have seen so many strategies just fall apart and fall foul of this, just stopping your opponent from being able to do anything, especially if you can bring up a support Pokemon on the bench and only just sits there for support but can't really attack, then you're really showing the power of retreat lock of an attack like Clutch. But in this instance, it's just going to be the Subjugating Chains into the Yveltal and then retreat into that Mega Kangaskhan EX. Another 2 cards drawn, and there's an Arvin.
It's a big pickup. Arvin, a fantastic supporter to find here for Edwin, will now have access to that Technical Machine Turbo Energize, the main means of this archetype, really setting up all of its attackers because it's really focused on basic Pokemon. It's easy to get them into play, but it's about charging up these expensive attack costs, especially when you're coming up against a one-hit KO deck predominantly. You can't really function with that Terminal Period attack. You really have to commit a lot of energy to your Megas to get anything done here.
Yeah, unlike other decks that make use of that powerful Monkey Dory, which we just see hit the discard pile, the Mega Absol Kangaskhan deck isn't really a deck that can put damage on its own side of the board. We did see some previous builds experimenting in the hands of Tord Reklev with Risky Ruins to do that, but nothing like that here. So Edwin is really relying on being hit before that damage can be moved back over. So recognizing that this is going to be a one-hit KO matchup is instead opting to just discard that Monkey Dory and focus on charging up these big 2 Megas.
And Edwin already recognizing that Drew is on a weaker hand. This might be the opportunity to weave in the Toedscruel and evolve up as quickly as possible. Drew with the top deck. Ooh, it is the Lunatone into the Fighting Gong. Thanks to the Earthen Vessel on the previous turn, Drew is going to be seeing a decent chunk of cards here.
And this is a great bit of sequencing from Drew, because Drew already had that Fighting Gong in hand, but recognized, hold on, if I play this now, I actually reduce my odds of finding the other piece of the puzzle. So just waited to see the top deck so that he can then find the other piece from the Fighting Gong. Super heads-up sequencing from Drew.
This combination, the Sun and Moon combo here, the duo, not only early pressure attackers, but are such a fantastic draw engine and make the Golden Go EX archetype so low maintenance. We're going to see a quick cut here from Edwin before using that Lunar Cycle and getting into the action.
So it seems there was a little bit of a fumble there. As Edwin went to cut the deck, there was a Boss's Orders that got revealed from the deck. I mean, these players both have perfect deck knowledge, so shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we're just going to wait on with the judges to see what the outcome from that is.
I have to imagine it's just going to be another routine randomization and carry on with the game here. But we'll get confirmation of that. But at the very least, Drew already breathing a big sigh of relief from the top deck. As you said, Freya, by holding on to the 1, you were able to increase your outs of finding either rock combo to get yourself into this game. But beyond that, Drew could continually manually attach to the Mega Mawile EX while he still sort of has time to do so, because you don't really need to get your Cosmic Beams in too much in this matchup. Normally, that's where you commit your early energy attachments. In this instance, he could weave in the Mega Mawile while he works towards those Golden Go.
Yeah. Now, I'm just giving a think over in this situation. I guess technically there is some sort of information revealed in the sense that Edwin might not necessarily know what's in the prize card. So by revealing that Boss's Orders, that's one card that he knows for sure isn't in the prize card. So maybe that's where the debate and the ruling is coming from.
Yeah, that's still worth making sure of here in this such high stakes match for both players. Once again, Drew back on the final stage at the European International Championships. Edwin also loves coming to this tournament, has got a top 16, a top 64 in the past. It seems to be the event that he also does his best at.
Yeah, just one great going over. Now, if you're Drew in this exact situation, then how are you best setting up here? You really want to find some stuff off Lunar Cycle, but you're just relying on these free draws to sort of get you into the game. Buddy Puffin, Arvin would be a brilliant maybe, just anything.
And of course, that Team Secret box, that Ace Spec card could really unlock the hand so much here.
Not in the prize cards.
Yep, exactly that. So 3 draws, but so many ways that he could work his way into the game. Again, this Mega Mawile EX with 270 hit points is not really in a great danger straight away. It wouldn't be ideal for it to get damaged early on because it will be much more useful later on in the game, but isn't really under fire of a KO in any dramatic fashion. Yeah,
especially not with the decision of the Turbo Energize. There was a universe in which if Drew only had his Mega Mawile going and that Mega Kangaskhan was loaded up, we could have seen a
rapid fire
combo, 2 heads KO, and that would have been it for game 1.
Well, we have just seen the Kangaskhan as an attacking presence in our seniors division finals, coming away with a win. The Kangas cones, you love to see it. And who knows, maybe at some point during this set, Edwin will have to lean towards looking towards coin flips.
So yeah, just gonna be handing over to the judges for a quick shuffle there, just to make sure everything is nice and in order. And then Edwin just asking, how many cards does Drew have in hand before this turn carries on? So there it is. 4, but about to be 6, of course. It's guarding 1 from the Lunar Cycle, and then free drawn will become 6 total. But these do need to be a big free card in order to get Drew back into this game. So let's see it here. Now, Lunar Cycle, free cards drawn. What does he find? Something to set up, hopefully?
Any ball such card, any Arvin here would be huge.
I think, that was a couple of Golden Go and another card which isn't doing much right now. So it's just going to be...
It's energy to the active.
Ugh.
Action might pass back over here. We're looking towards a huge bite later down the line. By the looks of things, Freya.
260 damage, but it does get reduced if the opponent has damage counters on it already, so you need to be hitting something that is undamaged in order to get the most out of it.
And that's not a problem right now.
No, it's really not.
Deal any damage. It's going to be gobbled down for 0. It's an 80 times multiplier for how many prize cards you have taken. It becomes so threatening later on in the game. But right now, Drew just sort of seeing the light side of things. As we pass action back over to Edwin. We can once again run errand for a couple additional cards here. Ooh, and picks up the Toad Scroll. That's going to really help you with this evolution, get yourself out of range of an easy Cosmic Beam prize card for Drew, and you can initiate that lock so early on. Yeah,
this is really great for Edwin. Normally, as you were saying, Joe, this is something that you'd look to establish way later in the game, but Edwin recognizing that Drew had as slow a start as he did, just opting to bench that Toad Scroll early and paying off immediately with the Toad Scroll evolution opportunity.
Yeah, typically if the Golden Go is drawing a little bit better, Edwin would have to use the likes of Bravery Charm on his Toad Scroll to make them feel a little bit safer coming into play. But in this instance, Edwin happy enough to simply poker gear and find a Lily's Determination. And is still shuffling up, so may not still be the supporter of choice this turn. I feel like it's really solid to start using Claw of Darkness as quickly as possible here, Freya, because you know that Drew is in an awkward position right now, doesn't have everything there quite looking for, and getting any damage into this Mega Mawile EX would save you so much headache later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is just going to be a debate as to whether it's worth playing anything else in the hand, or maybe there's other things that you would rather have stick in there. You know, I know it's definitely not what you want to play in this instance. I think that would be an absolute disaster for Edwin. But there is a debate over where you want to put this Bravery Charm. Do you stick it onto the Mega Kangaskhan, or maybe do you even stick it on this Petrarant just to prevent it from being KO'd by an easier...
I'm thinking Toad School.
Okay.
Like I said, you just want to protect this and use the Slime Mold Colony when you need it. It's only a 2-1 evolution line, so just initiate that lock after Drew has spent a bunch of energy for a big Make It Rain knockout, as we're starting to see Edwin have a look at the disaster that is Drew Stephenson's hand right now.
Like,
at least there are a couple of fighting energy, so Drew, no matter what, still can get a Lunar Cycle. But right now, Edwin knows exactly what he's up against, and it's not much.
Oh, there we go. Buddy puffing at long last. Would have loved to see that last turn, but now we are into the game. So can go ahead and grab a couple of Gimme Ghoul, and we're no longer looking at a Mega Mawile deck with Lunar Rock. now we are Goldengo play gaming.
Surprise, it's a Goldengo EX deck after all. A big cheer from the home crowd here. Drew Stephenson, of course, coming from the UK. We are in London for the European International Championships 2026. This is the final game of the Masters Division in the TCG. And Drew still has Lunar Cycle to go here. Would definitely like to try and find something like that Arven for an air balloon in this instance, start moving away from this Mawile EX, even if he's not able to launch an attack. Failing that, maybe something like a Boss's Orders and just get your value with Huge Bite while you can, Freya. Perhaps that's an option. Actually, because there's poison on this Mega Absol EX, you could Huge Bite, hit 260 damage, and the Poison Tick would finish off this Mega Absol.
Well, no, but the damage is reduced.
Oh, you're right. There is no damage. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, there is 1 damage on it, so no, Huge Bite will not be doing the full 260, unfortunately, for Drew.
Well, that means that we do have to try and protect this Pokemon at all costs.
Does finally find an Arven. Would have definitely liked to see it earlier, but better late than never. Can go ahead and use that to grab an item and a tool card from the deck. Air Balloon, a pretty immediately obvious pickup, I guess. Just get this Mega Mawile out of the active while you can. And will the other choice be that Team Secret Box represents coming in, or are you going to save that for a little bit later? I can see an argument for both. Maybe at this point you just want to get something like a Nest Ball, bank it on the bench so you can make sure in case you get hit with an Iron Node, maybe you can get your Goldengo back out.
It's always that awkward situation where the Arven is trying to be like a setup supporter in this instance, but you're staring down a Claw of Darkness. So if you use a Secret Box, you're going to lose the best supporter there after discarding a bunch of cards naturally from your hand. You've already got some Goldengo EX in the hand, so you don't necessarily need that Genesect EX. It is going to be the Secret Box, which means we probably have to play it this turn. This is the sort of namesake of this build Drew Stephenson has been championing for many months now. There has been a debate within the community over which A-Spec is most profitable for the Goldengo EX, and Drew has really made that statement that Secret Box time and time again is getting him great placements.
Yeah, the only worry here for Drew is that if you don't prioritize a Genesect here with his Nest Ball, like I was saying earlier, if you get hit with an Iron Node, suddenly you're not necessarily guaranteed to have those Golden go out. So a Genesect feels great as an insurance policy. Having said that, is this just going to be a retreat into the Lunatone and then pass?
Does look to be that. Also a Metal Energy coming down onto the Gimme Ghoul on the bench. And action passes over to Edwin, who knows he can snipe a really crucial A-Spec out of the hand for Drew here.
Keeping it in the hand, so Drew must be thinking here, what I want to do is create a target that's almost like, too valuable to not latch onto, and kind of almost bait Edwin into the Claw of Darkness. But if it's discarding one of the best cards in your deck, is that even much of a trap to fall into?
Well, let's see. The Town Store will grab that second Bravery Charm this turn. Does that mean another Toad School could come down? And we could once again buff that up with more hit points. That could be a good option. Alternatively, buffing up this Mega Absol EX and forcing even more energy discards from future Make It Rain attacks. As we are going to see, first of all, the Subjugating Chains going into Yveltal. This is just a free retreat pivot. And we're moving back into the Mega Absol. That's simply going to cure our status condition, our poison now. So less damage is ticking onto our Mega Absol.
Oh, hold on a second. There's a Bravery Charm. There's a Boss's Orders in Edwin's hand. Edwin's going to be able to take a free prize lead in this game. And this is exactly what Drew was wanting to avoid by retreating into that Lunatone, hoping Edwin just didn't have the Boss's Orders, but he has it. And Edwin's going to take a huge lead here.
And the Slime Mold Colony coming into play as well. Edwin saying, now's the time. I'm going to try and protect my Mega Evolution Pokemon as best as I can. And even if Drew comes up with a counter strategy, especially with this energy attachment to Petrarant EX on the bench, Edwin's getting himself into an amazing position. in this game number 1 here, going 3 prize cards up. Drew getting no value from his Mega Morwile EX. And we're even getting rid of more energy at this stage, Freya.
Yeah, just not even bothering the secret box. Oh, this is so heads up from Edwin, realizing if Drew wants to play the secret box, he's forced to either discard the golden goes, which obviously he's not going to do, or he's forced to discard whatever he draws from these coin bonuses, and essentially is kind of left with forced fodder, which just doesn't feel great either.
And let's not forget that Drew now has a critical mass of 6 energy in the discard pile, 1 in play, only plays 11 copies. So Slime Mold Colony means that this Mega Absol EX is going to be quite safe, I believe. We're going to see the Town Store coming in first, but Drew simply doesn't have enough physical basic energy within the deck right now, Fred, to get a clean knockout.
And this is the power of that Toad Scroll coming in, that Slime Mold Colony just really shutting down Drew's deck. And yeah, if you get to a point where you can take 1 big KO on a Mega and then 1 KO on another one using that Mega Morwile, that's fine. But the Mega Morwile has been the first thing to be KO'd, so suddenly this Toad Scroll is putting in a huge hurt on Drew.
Stephenson back against the wall, but has been in these awkward positions before with Golden Go. This is the moment where he has to use all of his experience with the archetype. Still has Super Rod at his disposal. That might be one of his last crucial item cards that he could use. The Slime Mold Colony only denies resources coming back into the hand.
Yes, that's right.
The Super Rod could still be used to recycle some energy here.
And that's going to be vital because you do see those 2 metal energy in the discard pile. However, there is 1 more in the prize card. So this metal energy on the active gold Angry X is currently the only metal energy in play.
How does Drew go about this? Does it begin with trying to take out the Toad School first? Scroll, I should say.
I mean, it probably has to be, right? I mean, otherwise you're just going to be stuck for the rest of this game. You need to unlock your energy, otherwise you're going nowhere. But when your opponent has a free prize card lead and you're only taking down 1, I mean, sure, you can go for a 1 free 2 prize map to finish things, but it still doesn't feel great.
Especially when Edwin begins to start powering up some of these other attacking threats to help close him in this game. But I suppose the good news for Drew is that this Mega Absol is still so limited in its damage cap, you can still tank some hits from your Golden Go EX and sort of weave in your Professor Turo scenario. It does feel like he has to begin with this Toad Scroll.
Yeah, if you don't take down this Toad Scroll, you have no means of finishing off this game. Otherwise, sure, maybe you can take down a 2-prizer, that's a bit weaker, but you need those energies back to make any progression. So I'm sure that is exactly what Drew is focusing in on. And we do see that bench coin bonus coming in for another card drawn. Still not played that secret box, but now has plenty of fodder that he feels more comfortable discarding. Looks like it's going to be a choice of an Artisan, a Bravery Charm, and 1 more card, but he's just going to take a quick look at the discard pile first to decide what he can afford to lose the most. Is it going to be yet another copy of Boss's Orders? No, it's the Tourist Scenario he's discarding.
Yeah, it's an awkward discard, but it has to be done here because I believe the remainder of Drew's hand is simply 3 energy. So you grab the Boss's Orders that you'll have to use this turn, and then it's a strange situation where you don't want your hand to be too good because Claw of Darkness can still come back at you, but you want to thin the hand as best you can. Is it simply a playable Nest Ball here for the potential Genesect EX?
Yeah, just
so
a way to
get another potential Pokemon, or use the Super Rod this turn as well. That would be another option. Getting a resource out. Yeah, it is going to be a Super Rod.
Yeah, I think I like this a lot. You don't necessarily need to prioritize the Nest Ball for the Genesect anymore. You've dodged that turn with Ino, with the Golden Go going back into the deck. But
we're
actually,
toing and throwing with our choices. It's going to be just a supporter card and just an item card. In comes the Toad Scroll. It's going to be a Make It Rain knockout. That's Drew going down 3 more energy and finally making a comeback in the prize race. And crucially taking out that really awkward ability. With Edwin having no Toad School on the bench as a follow-up, he knows he's got 1 turn of reprieve.
Yeah, 1 turn of reprieve. It might be all that Drew needs. Let's not forget, Drew can still win the game in 2 more attacks. KO 1 Mega and KO that Pecharunt EX, and you will win this game. But Edwin is still very much in the driving seat, even more so with that Absol with the Claw of Darkness ready to go, with the Bravery Charm on it as well, making it so hard to KO. It is his game to lose at this point.
Edwin, 3 prize cards to take, but no attack really cleanly sorts out this situation. You can't really rely on Monkey Dory. There's only 2 damage that you have to play with to make math cuter. This is the moment of the game where you start thinking about the likes of Ino and that Claw of Darkness that's been so useful for Edwin already in this game number 1. The quick Town Store will thin the Technical Machine, Turbo Energize. Mega Absol already got so much good mileage out of it. And Edwin has to keep trying to look towards getting Toad School into the mix now, because this is the sort of part of the game where if he starts putting down more single prize Pokemon, Drew really doesn't want to have to target those because he wants to take out 1 Mega Evolution Pokemon and 1 of these 2 prize EXs. Yeah,
the prize map is 1 free 2 or 1 2 free, whichever order ends up the best. Run Errand coming in from the active finds a Boss's Orders and a Toad School replacement.
That's a really nice pickup. Potential for Darkness Energy Monkey Dory as well for Edwin, just to try and heal up this Absol that little bit more and get some more damage scattered around. I suppose putting one of these Golden Go EX down to 240 hit points would make the rapid fire combo a more potentially damaging threat for later, and the multiplier on the Petron EX as well. Being 60 times, that could be useful with Irritated Outburst.
It can be a surprising finisher sometimes when you just need an attacker that does more for less energy. Can quite be worthwhile. Subjugating Chains is going to be coming in, and we're going to see the combo again into Yveltal and then into Absol, just debating how he wants to navigate this exactly. There is still one Adrenaline Grain that can be used. Oh,
exactly
actually,
that. Yeah, he's poisoning the active, so he has more poison damage to play with for later. Is Edwin eyeing up a potential boss's orders here to take another prize and then thinking more and more about that Irritated Outburst? As the game closes down, yeah, we're going to try and take out Lunatone here, try and punish the engine for Drew. Shutting down one of these pieces effectively takes out both.
How many times have we said drawing cards wins games, so denying your opponent to draw the cards probably also wins you games.
Let's set up that first Golden Go EX as well that has the energy attached to it. That puts you a little bit more in range of rapid fire combo and your Petron EX. Edwin has done all he can here to make it a little bit easier to close these final two prize cards out.
Oh, I want to point out, so Drew had a one-card hand from, it was just a prize card taken from that knockout on the Toad Scroll, and that was an air balloon.
It's a big pickup for Drew. Means we can get even more draw power from both of these coin bonus.
Well, no, it got discarded.
It got discarded.
Yeah, it was picked up from the prize, and it just got discarded from Flow of Darkness. So, but what was the draw for turn?
Let's see, Drew with all of his current energy in the discard pile, both air balloon discarded. That means we'd have to find even more energy to attach to this active Pokemon now without using Professor Terra Scenario, but that doesn't feel like a good use of his supporter for the turn.
No, it really doesn't. Townstall just to give the deck a quick check.
And even if you use a couple of Superior Energy Retrieval at this point, Freya, because the Toad School has been re-established, that's really putting a pin on Drew's actions again here. Maybe Drew had to go through the Petron first.
Go through the Petron first, or you could potentially, with there being one metal energy committed to the active to one of the Golden Go EX for the attack cost, maybe you can afford to get that Mega Mawile back, attach an energy to it, and finish off the game that way, so that you don't need as many energy to finish things off.
Boss's Orders is there for Drew. What else is there? One more card from Coin Bonus, but I'm not seeing a lot of action.
I see a Nest Ball, I could grab a Pheasantipity EX. Oh no, we can't hit the prizes still!
Yeah, that's going to be punishing, but we can get the Genesect EX for one final coin bonus. Here we go, Metallic Signal for a 2 Genesect EX coming into the hand. There's still a couple superior rooting around in the deck to find. But Drew, this stage is looking quite far behind here. Just having a final peek before going to be shuffling up. I saw the boss's orders in hand for Drew, but I think we're just lacking those superiors.
Yeah, one superior energy retrieval means you can go ahead and boss up this Petron TX at the very least and take 2 prizes from that. It's the one thing that you can do to keep up some kind of tempo. So this is going to be a vital coin bonus for Drew here. If you can find that superior energy retrieval, 1 card drawn, is it the superior? It is!
That gives us 4, well, actually only 150 damage to play with because you have to attach manually to the active.
Oh, and of course he still doesn't have a way to retreat.
Gives you a single prize knockout. So you're still trying to win now over 3 attacks. It's very rare that Golden Go requires more than 4 attacks to win a game. But already has had to go through 1 single prize Pokemon. Might have to once again respect the Toad School.
Yeah, I guess at the very least, if you do this, you can KO another single prizer and then the 3 prizes to win. It still does make your prize map so awkward though, but that's what it has to be. Superior energy retrieval, getting back 4 energy. One of them has to be a metal, otherwise you are not going to be able to provide Make It Rain's attack cost. And there is a Super Rod in the hand as well, so maybe this is going to be the last card played. You can see Drew readying it, knows he might need to get back these key resources to keep going and to be able to mount some kind of finish here when he's so far behind.
And this sneaky poison damage, again, playing on Drew's mind. Does he have to even target Monkey Dory here? If you play the Super Rod, no, it still feels like you have to go for Toad School, I think.
Because otherwise you just don't have enough energy to finish the game, right? Even if you go for the Super Rod.
Mega Mawile EX is going to come back alongside a Metal Energy. And you are going to be throwing some amount of energy into your discard pile, so that final slot might just have to be another fighting. Drew does still have access to another Lunatone in the deck somewhere.
Yeah, the other Solrock is prized, but the other Lunatone isn't. So I do think, yeah, the Fighting Energy is probably the safer call here. But you can see him really agonizing over it. Just this is how Drew has been so effective throughout the season. Just saying, actually opting to leave 4 in there for maximum later superior energy retrieval efficiency.
Yeah, probably needs to use those like final couple of superior to deal with the Mega Pokemon at some point in combination with one another. So just going to keep those stashed nicely. And it will be a single prize knockout, you have to imagine.
I find I'm just so impressed with how Drew has managed to keep himself in this game. Clearly been on the back foot the whole time, but even with this, just been doing just the right enough moves to keep himself in there with his back against the wall. So yeah, gonna have to be the Toad School here. Can discard 2 energy to make it rain, and that will be the knockout. At the very least, Drew will know that his energy is gonna be accessible for the rest of the game. It's cold comfort, but it's there.
It's something, but Edwin is just drawing even more close to closing out this game number 1. There's potential lines, even with a rapid-fire combo with energy switch shenanigans. It could be all over with some heads flips, and Monkey Dory coming in with that 10 damage on Mega Absol. If Edwin wants to try and close the game now, he could. Obviously, a safer line would be once again launching a Claw of Darkness. Night Stretcher coming back, which means it's definitely going to be a Toad School, you would think. Unless
you do want to go for that line that you mentioned and just leave it up to the rapid-fire combo. Actually, never mind, there's no energy in the discard pile, so it's going to be either Toad School or Monkey Dory. Toad School is going to be the choice.
Yeah, this is such a useful tech inclusion. Edwin showing exactly why he's pivoted from the Cornerstone Mask or the Crustal or the Moltres Risky Ruins package. There's been so many iterations of the Mega Absol archetype. And we are going to see the Lily's determinations for Edwin to get a fresh 6-card hand here, Freya.
6 cards drawn. Do you go for the safer route, or do you go for the rapid-fire combo for the win? We have seen the safe route backfire already yesterday, so maybe if Edwin has that on his mind, he might be thinking, do I just go for the win now? But it's a tough call no matter what way you look at it.
I mean, I think Claw of Darkness is definitely a safe route. There's so many things you could hit. At this point, Drew's been through quite a few resources, and if you just spike the right card from the Claw of Darkness, you could make life really difficult for Golden Go.
Well, the decision's been kind of made for him. There is no energy switch in the hand, so it is going to just have to be the Claw of Darkness no matter what anyway. Earthen Vessel discarding and Arven to have a quick look
no
through
basic
again.
Energy. Just missed energy remain by the looks of things, unless Edwin has drawn into any others. Quite a few accounted for already, scattered around this board.
I do think I might have seen another missed energy in the hand. Though, of course, we did see 2 dark energy prizes at the start of the game.
Yeah.
One of them has been retrieved now, so maybe that can explain for something. Yeah, there is that missed energy, but it's going to be run error of 2 cards after the Earthen Vessel. Penny could be great for next turn, just for some flexibility, for maybe some healing, if there can't be a one-hit knockout.
You're right, there is the missed energy, so we can continue to power up some other Pokemon. Maybe stashing a turn attachment onto this Kangaskhan could be reasonable here. Just have that fallback play. We're once again going to be poisoning our Mega Absol EX because we're going to once again use Adrenabrain. I think placing 1 counter onto the bench Golden Go EX makes a lot of sense. It sets you up quite nicely, even if Drew is able to use any Professor Terra scenario next turn.
Yeah, is there ever an argument to put on this Genesect, actually? Because then 1 more Adrenabrain, and you wouldn't need to flip any heads to finish things up with Rapid Fire combo.
That would also be really solid. So we are going to see a counter fling over to the Genesect EX in the back. And the missed energy looking very solid now as the turn attachment. It is just going to be the Claw of Darkness. Drew thinking it's game over. It's not quite yet. 200 damage going onto his active Golden Go EX. And also Edwin gets to take a peek at that 2-card hand. And one of them's a fighting energy. Let's fling that away. And Drew's going to have a quick ask to Edwin of what's remaining in the hand, what resources have been spent here. It's looking like Edwin is sort of on that precipice of winning this game number 1.
What's the draw for turn? Can't quite see. Drew hiding his hand a little bit, flicking through, deciding what he wants to do next. Going to start with the Genesect. I don't believe there's any Golden Go EX left to filter out, so it is just going to be to look through the deck, give it a shuffle, think about how he wants to approach this turn, but he's shaking his head. I think he realizes that his options are quite thin on the ground.
Yeah. You can see it all over his face. Drew making no secret of the fact that he is very behind here, even with some draws remaining from coin bonus. What's he even working towards? That Toad School again being such a nuisance. The Terra scenario is in the hand.
Oh, the deck just got picked up from the coin bonus, so yeah, that's going to be at least something just to deny potentially easier KO, although the Genesect is still sitting there looking like a very vulnerable target. 1 more coin bonus, maybe this and then a Terra scenario for the last active coin bonus to see if that you can put together enough energy to do it. Superior energy retrieval comes into the hand.
Again, we're still working with something, but you kind of need to use all your superior at once. Damaging this Absol would just not be ideal. It would be just another turn on the clock for you to win the game. And again, if you're going to use a ton of your energy, that Toad School is still looking menacing, just sat there.
Yeah, Edwin would, of course, have to find a Night Stretcher to get it established, but I do believe Edwin still has one left, so far from the realms of impossibility.
It's going to be perhaps a nest ball for Lunatone and maybe Luna Cycling as one of our final drawing options. It would, of course, spend another energy in order to use the ability.
It's so, just seeing Drew in this way, it feels so different from how we've seen him play differently. He recognizes that there's a lot on the line here, and not only that, he recognizes that his back is against the wall. He's really thinking over every decision over and over again, maybe even a little bit of self-doubt creeping in, but he knows that he can just get there, but when you're in this position, it's just tough not to feel for him a little bit.
Well, his start has been awful. Make no mistake about it, but that's what can happen. Here you are in the finals, you don't get any retakes.
Nope.
You're going to get 4 energy back with Super Energy Retrieval. It's going to be a manual attachment retreat here from Drew into the final coin bonus.
One more Superior Energy Retrieval would be enough to get the KO, so does he find it off of these 2 cards?
Yes, we do. That's Superior Energy Retrieval, but I think it's alongside Boss's Orders.
Oh, that's really not something you want to discard, but you might have to.
I mean, can you Boss's Orders at Toad School one more time and then say you can win by knocking out this Mega Absol right at the end? You'd have to use the Superior Energy Retrieval anyway, just so it doesn't get Claw of Darkness away. Yeah, here it is, more energy coming back.
Just preloading it and making sure that you have enough to close things out, deal with the Toad School, and then, yeah, 1 Mega Knockout will do the trick to win the game.
You're having to dodge bullets at this stage. It is going to be Boss's Orders on Petra and EX. As we know, that Irritated Outburst becomes too dangerous the more prize cards that are taken. So Drew going to deal with that Pokemon, going down to just 2 prize cards remaining. And now has to dodge Boss's Orders from Edwin. That would close the game out.
It's not in the hand, so we know that he doesn't have game yet. But what is the draw for turn? It's a Latias EX. Countercatcher in the hand is not going to work. These 2 are currently even on prize cards. So that would also be a reason to not knock out the Mega Absol, because then that would have enabled that to happen as well.
And Freya, I believe there's a Pokegear in this hand. Is Edwin simply thinning as much as possible?
I think he might be.
Or doing anything else? Oh, it's the Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Oh, that's
good. Mist energy coming in, already damage on this Golden Go EX. Handshake, that's game number 1 to Edwyn Mesman, bringing in the Blood Moon at the perfect time. Great use of your own poison, with Monkey Dory to set up multiple of these Golden Go EX throughout the game, especially when you're up against a 1-hit KO matchup, using your own subjugating change to set up some additional damage. Fantastic display.
We were saying there's no way to put damage on your own board. How about poisoning yourself and 1 damage counter at a time, building up enough to move it over, 240 plus 20, a clean knockout on the Golden Go. What a superb finish for that game 1.
Many people were expecting a clean 2-0 sweep for Drew Stephenson at the start of this game, but it was nothing like that in game number 1. Let's see how those opening turns really dictated this game 1, Freya. It was really after a few turns of Drew having to simply manually attach to all this Mega Morwile EX. I mean, so many ball search outs within the Golden Go deck, it's normally so easy to get into play.
Yeah, it really was that Mega Morwile start, I think, that kind of set the snowball rolling, because it forced Drew into so many awkward lines at so many different points. Found that Buddy Pop in just like 1 turn later than he ideally would have wanted to. Even like being denied flexibility with Claw of Darkness, picking off pieces like the Air Balloon we saw just there, which he couldn't even protect against because he took it as a prize card.
Yeah, really smart play from Edwin, and rather than having to look for any other pieces, knew that he wasn't even digging that turn, didn't need the run errand, knew that had the... There you go, there's support out in the crowd for Edwin and Drew, both fierce competitors in this Masters Division final. Drew Stephenson has sat in that seat before. There's even more expectation on him today, Freya. The matchup seems a little bit more favored, and he's just accumulated so many points with this deck.
Edwin's is the face of confidence, of someone who knows he's only 1 game away from becoming an international champion. Drew's face is of someone who recognizes, I have been here before, my back is against the wall, I do not want to be runner-up again, I'm going to recover, I want to win this game in the next game and make the 2-1 comeback to claim my first international title.
And I think the good news for Drew is that basically that game 1 was the worst situation possible.
Really
led
was.
Your only 3 prize EX Pokemon, and you couldn't really maneuver it out the way. You didn't really get any value, any chip damage even. Sometimes that can be valuable with Soul Rock that can save you resources later. For Edwin, putting on a great display on exactly how his Tech 2-1 Toad line can be so effective here. Oh no.
Everyone.
We've got some news. Just seen some prize cards.
Yeah, hold your breath for a little bit. Everyone, can we just show the prize cards for the folks at home and everyone in the audience?
Oh. Let that sink in. Both. They don't know who it is. They don't know who it is.
They know someone's in trouble.
Edwin leads the Psyduck, has a Mega Kangaskhan EX off the top, and is going to attach. And now Drew will be the one finding out first, because they have Metallic Signal at their disposal. They know they have Golden Go. Drew said it's not me.
Well, I mean...
Is it not?
Okay, no, but to be fair, let's wind it back here. Let's give some credit. He will, if you're taking prizes from bottom to top, you'll take your first knockout with the energy you have, and you will get one of them. And then you'll take the next knockout and get the other two. So maybe that's why Drew's thinking, okay, actually it feels all right. But it is a bit of a stark image, isn't it?
I love your enthusiasm, Freya. I love it. You're right, though. The position of the prize cards are at least workable.
It's ever the optimist, as I've been called backstage here a few times already this weekend.
My goodness, walking into the venue today thinking, well, anything can happen in Pokemon. We're seeing it again here. Drew with a very unfortunate game number 1, now staring down some really critical prize cards. It's going to make him have to jump through hoops in this game too if he wants to make a comeback.
Yeah. I wonder if he said, is it me, because he doesn't quite realize yet. Maybe he's not done through the counts of the superior energy retrieval, or maybe, yeah, he is just not that bothered. He thinks, actually, I'm fine with this.
No, it just speaks to what sort of a competitor Drew is. So far has been pretty open about what position he's been in. Hasn't really had much of a poker face until now.
No, and wow, what a great start here. I mean, normally Genesect is not something you want to start with, but better that than the Mega Mawile. And the fact you have an air balloon straight away, and even you could just attach an energy and go for a minor errand running. Why not, right?
Yep, searching the deck for 2 energy. We'll start on this mission of getting lots in hand for the Make It Rain attacks. And really, Drew already is threatening a knockout on Mega EX Pokemon. And Edwin so often relies on the run errant to accumulate value over a number of turns. So if Drew can take an early prize lead into a Mega EX Pokemon, he may just jump through the hoop and find a bunch of those superior energy retrieval.
Yeah, we have the minor errand running on one side, and we have the run errand on the other side. There's plenty of errands to go around for both of these players.
Look at this, Edwin sort of questioning the crowd reaction. Because Drew was like, well, it's not me. Edwin was like, well, it's not me either. I've got my trolley. I've got a bravery charm. It looks like I already have a route towards Turbo Energize. So Edwin's thinking, well, it's not me either.
Well, you know, we like to see mutual confidence. I mean, that's very in line with how both these players felt going into the game, to be honest. So I'd say that's par for the course.
Edwin will still do his due diligence. There is one of those Absol in the prize cards, but typically you only really accept making 1 in this situation, then rely on some of your 2 prize EX Pokemon, the likes of Pecharunt and that Blood Moon Ursaluna EX.
Yeah, really great to see this Precious Trolley turn 1, of course. We were missing it, well, not on turn 1, rather, on the second turn, but we were missing it in that game 1, was right there at the top of the prizes. Not that I'm at it, because Edwin took that game down in a very confident fashion, but we are going to see a nice spread of basics here, including that ever-vital Toad School coming down straight away.
Yeah, and now Edwin just thinking, should it be a second one coming into play straight away? And yes, it is in this instance.
Now,
already really quickly finding that bravery charm, let's not forget Freya.
I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, Joe, but maybe in this instance, the superior energy retrieval prize could be a bit of an issue. With the Toad Schools already locked and loaded, that means you're kind of forced to get them earlier. You can't preemptively play them to play around the Toad School as much, maybe.
Yeah, and that's also an element that we have to bear in mind in this game. Edwin looks like he's going to grab a couple energy for the Earthen Vessel, and will most likely going to be announcing the Technical Machine Turbo Energize with, I have to imagine, this Psyduck. It's the Pokemon that you want to go down the most to free up some board space for you.
Yeah, right now that is a bit of a sitting duck there, both literally and figuratively.
Ooh, but we going into the Mega straight away. I suppose with the Toad School on the board, Edwin has this sort of confidence that if you are going to go big early with your Golden Go EX Make It Rains, you can punish it so quickly with Toad School.
And does have the Turbo Energize for good measure as well, so we'll be able to start to get this Absol loaded up all the way as well.
Yeah, 3 energy. By the end of this turn, we'll be on that Mega Absol EX, powering it right up for Claw of Darkness that was so effective in that game number 1. Edwin also going to Bravery Charm to give a little bit of extra safety to his benched Mega EX Pokemon. That's really the crucial downside of these really overstatted basic Pokemon. Giving up that additional prize is a real downside, so protecting them at all costs is the name of the game.
330 HP is a big number. Even for Golden Go to overcome, it can do it, but suddenly you factor in the Toad Scroll and you factor in the lack of energy recovery, and it becomes a lot tougher to overcome.
Yeah, Drew would love to be sort of shaking hands with Edwin saying, well, I've just knocked out 2 of these, no problem. But that Toad Scroll really does change the map here. But let's face it, Drew does have a clearer map lined out this game. Doesn't have to sit around with a Mega more while in play. Will have much more of an easy time getting the Golden Go into the equation, maybe even stashing an energy onto a Morwell earlier on in this game as well when he finds a window of opportunity. If one Golden Go can sit around for a turn, that gives you the license to attach to your Mega Morwell later on in the game.
And that's exactly how I'm sure he would like to play this out. Even more so, seeing those 2 Toad Schools sitting on the bench, knowing that at the very least I can finish things up with a Gobble Down later on.
Yeah, with that 270 hit point threshold, it's so difficult for Edwin to reach into, as we are now evolving up into 3 Stage 1 EX Pokemon. That means lots of draw potential for Drew Stephenson. The first will be from the active. 2, as it is a Golden Go EX in the active position. Yep. Already a lot of energy in this hand.
Is there already enough for a KO? I don't think we're a million miles away, you know. We could, maybe even if it's just like a KO on this Latias, or even maybe you want to target down one of these 2 Toad Scroll.
Yeah, once again, that sort of puzzle for Drew here of how do we want to go about this route? Do I accept that I'm taking out lots of single prize Pokemon just to alleviate the headache for later so I can just burst through one Mega Evolution EX, or do I do a Mega Pokemon straight away, maybe limit the draw potential of Run Errand from Edwin, knowing that at some point I'm going to have to find this Boss's Orders combination with enough natural energy in the hand, because I won't be able to use Superiors, provided Edwin can establish that lock. There's a lot to ask for. Even though this board is looking really obvious, there could be a really easy 3-prize knockout here. It would make life awkward for Drew later on in the game.
Sometimes that's a deceptive trap, right? We were talked about how it could be really effective if you could just slam down that Toad Scroll once the energies have been discarded. That's where you really start to struggle, because then you have to either focus down on the Toad Scroll or go down that Mega Morwell route, at which point Edwin can try and play around that. But if maybe you do just think, even with that kind of bait in front of me, this is still the right way to go.
Yeah, and Edwin basically happy with either outcome. If the Kangaskhan goes down, that's when you can go into Iono plus Claw of Darkness mode. If you find a Toad Scroll, you're going to be really happy about that position. You know your Absol will be pretty safe. Instead here, what are you seeing, Freya?
I'm seeing an Arven for a Nerve Vessel and a Vitality Band. With that will be enough energy to take the KO, I believe.
Yeah, already stashed a few with Minor Errand running on the previous turn. We've seen some draw into energy. We've seen Fighting Gong as well. So it should be lining up for a knockout.
It's just a debate on the discard. Vitality Band doesn't really fix a lot of maths in terms of the knockouts for either the Soul Rock or the Golden Go in this matchup. So going to go ahead and discard it, grab 2 more energy. I do believe with that, if we attach metal to the active, that will be 6, and there will be enough for a Make It Rain KO on this Mega Kangaskhan. And I mean, you got to think with the amount of energy that he's searching, it telegraphs that he is going to go for it, and he decides this is the route to win.
There is a manual attachment for the turn onto Drew's active Golden Go EX, and he's lining up the 6 energy. It's going to be a huge Make It Rain knockout here. The first Mega Evolution Pokemon going down for Drew Stephenson in game number 2 here. And let's see. Yep, 2 Superior Energy Retrieval picked up from those prize cards. A big relief for Drew.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I get it now. I get the reaction. Yeah.
I'm so back. But Edwin might be trying to lock those items out regardless. One big thing, not just the prize cards that Drew's taken, but also crucially taking away really the only draw engine that Edwin's deck relies on, that Run Errand. So Edwin, without access to an Iono, has to simply use Lily's Determination here, Freya.
Oh, and this could be really big, of course. I mean, Edwin is still getting 8 cards, of course, not taking the prize card yet, but if these 8 cards don't find either a way to draw more cards or just straight away find that Toad Scroll, suddenly Drew's looking at immediately winning the game.
And he's actually prized 2 copies of Ultra Ball. That's normally his only search towards this Stage 1 evolution Pokemon, so he naturally has to find a one-of here from 8 cards.
Oh, no, there's no search for it other than that. 8 cards drawn. Does he see it there? No!
Oh my goodness.
Joe, is that just going to be it?
Well, I said it could be as easy as knocking out 2 Mega EX Pokemon.
No hand disruption. Just literally just picked up 2 Superior Energy Retrieval from the prize cards. As long as he has the Boss's Orders, which he does, I think we're going to game 3.
Edwin simply has to Claw of Darkness here. Has to accept that Drew has access to Boss's Orders and hope that the 330 hit point threshold is awkward. Edwin, all in one turn, it's gone awry. Yeah, Claw of Darkness, 200 damage. Drew gets to really show a powerful hand with so much draw power. Look how many Superior already there. He's actually admitting he didn't really check much because of Toad Scroll anyway.
Yeah. So now you have to decide what is most likely.
It's terrifying for Edwin here, knowing that Drew is already at 200 damage just from, even after 1 Claw of Darkness getting rid of a Superior, but you basically have to take this card.
boss or superior, what combo piece do you value getting rid of more? It has to be, yeah, it has to be
Toss away a superior energy retrieval, and now Drew Stephenson has many coin bonus to dig towards either Arven or more of the superior energy retrieval to close out the game here.
Also, not only that, but you can go ahead and get really efficient with this because you can retreat this Golden Go and do 2 active coin bonuses and get the energies back that way and just clear off this. Wait, you already got Arven, that's it.
There we go, superior energy retrieval. Drew Stephenson going to do exactly that, Freya. The retreat action means that with double superior energy retrieval, we'll get 8 back. We can manually attach to our new active Golden Go EX. Edwin recognizes that. We're going to a Game 3 in our Masters Division final.
2 attacks, 2 making it range was all it took for Drew to take that Game 2. And has a terrifying position. Drew just takes the game out of nowhere.
That's how quick the Pokemon trading card game can turn. Crowd love to see it. We've had Game 3s in all of our H Division finals today in the TCG.
Drew asking, do you want to go second, Edwin? Edwin's like, yes, please. Very understandable, I think.
Yes, I think I would like to Precious Trolley. Here we go. Edwin thinking about what could have been in that game. The Lily's determination gave him decent odds, but those 2 prized Ultra Balls really just hurt his odds a lot. Let's go back over that game number 2. A stark contrast, Freya.
Yeah, stark contrast indeed. It really was just the double make it range show. So, 6 energy knockout. This is the one that we thought, oh, this could be so risky here. There's a potential for a Toad Scroll with double Ultra Ball prize for Edwin, and just a Lily's determination draw to find the pieces. Missing it, and then just that was all that was needed. Double superior energy retrieval, make it rain, 2 knockouts, 6 prizes, Game 3.
Yeah, we all know what's happening there. Golden Go EX revving up for a big knockout. Drew so happy with that position, getting themselves into a Game 3 where, once again, it was looking a little bit awkward. Such a poor opener in that game number 1. Then those awkward prize cards. Gasps from the crowd. The faithful hoping that Drew Stephenson is going to be walking away a champion today.
Yeah. And let's be real, if those superior energy retrievals were at the top of the prize instead of the bottom, that could have been a very different game too.
Oh yeah. But that's not where we're at, Freya. We're getting into this game number 3. Edwin, the only advantage he has at this stage is the fact that he is opting to go second, so has those additional supporter outs to get into the game.
I do believe as well, looking at the starters, Drew finally starting with something he'd like to. Starting with that Soul Rock, got to be a good thing there. And so we get a little preview here of the prizes that are there. Nothing anywhere near as dramatic this time.
No, nothing too dramatic. There's not going to be weird gestures to the crowd of, oh, what's happening, who's in trouble. And Drew starting things off with the Dream combination, Soul Rock and Lunatone, immediately into the Lunar Cycle here. 3 additional cards for Drew.
Finds a Fighting Gong as well. No out to a Gimme Goal is a shame, but having said that, most of the time, Lunatone and Soul Rock is really what you want to prioritize anyway. Maybe not in this matchup specifically, because you really do want to get to your Golden Go as soon as possible for those bigger knockouts and that extra draw. But I think you could say you've had worse starts.
Yep, and at least Drew can use Fighting Gong and spend an attachment onto the Soul Rock. It would open up early Boss's Orders opportunities for him on the Toad School. We know that that's an easy way for him to have a really resource-light knockout opportunity. And we do scout the prizes. The Super Rod being towards the top is a little bit awkward, I will admit that much, because that is one of your only usable recovery options when the Slime Mold Colony is in effect. Otherwise, more or less is getting away with things here. Yeah. Far less drama than in that game number 2, I know that much.
And as you rightly said as well, banking that Fighting Engine on the Soul Rock, it's actually good for 2 reasons. One, it can already get your attack going with the Cosmic Beam when you want to, but also you can then very easily retreat that into, say if you really need to go into a Gimme Goal for a minor errand running, you can do that, or just any number of other options. Or if Edwin does go ahead and bench that Toad School early on, you can just go ahead and Boss's Orders to KO it. With that in mind, I think Edwin is going to be a little bit more cautious about benching it than he has been previously.
Yeah, I think it would only really come onto the board if it was alongside a Bravery Charm to put yourself out of range of early Cosmic Beam play. But that is something that immediately Edwin has to take note of. Whenever you start seeing the threat of Soul Rock, you've got to respect it.
Yeah.
There's like already the Morwile EX. You could start stashing energy onto it, but that wasn't super effective in that game number 1. You ended up having an awkward 3-prize Pokemon that really helped Edwin charge through the prize race, but it is a Pokemon he wants to use in the late game. You can see why Drew's debating it.
Yeah, it's a tough one because it also was kind of what lost you the game 1, really. At the same time, maybe on the bench is more safe, but no, to weighing it up, deciding, let's leave it in hand for now. Over to Edwin, who just start off with a run errand. There's an Arven straight away.
Really nice. Arven coming off the run errand. And with no issues in his prize cards, he will be able to access both Precious Trolley and that Technical Machine Turbo Energize. this archetype is so low maintenance as soon as you find an Arven, because that unlocks both your energy acceleration and you can flood your entire board with your basics.
Yeah, and is actually opting to go ahead and get the double Toad School down immediately, just recognizing, okay, yeah, sure, maybe Drew can take down one, but he can't take down both. Ooh, actually, that Bravery Charm and the prize cards, what is the overall count in the list? Is it
2 copies, I believe.
Oof. You really want to be saving at least one of your Megas, so if you end up committing the other one to your Toad School, that can't feel great.
Yeah, but I suppose, I mean, it is your only real ball search option, to be fair. Like,
yeah.
Otherwise, you're just having to rely on as and when you can find those Ultra Ball, with not much great way to find them. So it will be the textbook turn 1 for a Mega Absol archetype. Going to be using that technical machine and powering up that Mega Absol EX, as he's done in all 3 of these games, Freya.
Yeah, and we were talking about how, Drew can bank a fighting energy onto the active, but there isn't any other fighting energy in the hand, actually. So did opt to keep that very wisely, because now can go for a Lunar Cycle in this turn as well.
Yeah, Drew wanting to keep as much draw power as possible. Actually has another fighting gong.
Just drew that for the turn.
Yeah, and it was just simply thinning for better draw. And we'll still be reliant here on that cycle. I think there are some Boss's Orders in the hand, but no real setup supporters for Drew. So wouldn't be too pleased with the Boss's Orders Cosmic Beam play, even though on paper it looks reasonable. Especially because he has to fear Claw of Darkness at every moment of this game.
Yeah, I mean, that might be a reason to just go for it now, right? Just use the boss while you can before it gets sniped. But those superior energy retrievals are a limited resource, and they are going to be vital to KO those big Mega Pokemon to finish the game. So Drew is going to be very mindful of that as he progresses. But let's see what this Lunar Cycle finds him. Yeah,
we're fishing for Arven, we're fishing for Buddy Buddy Poffin, or copies of the Gimme Ghoul themselves, or the Secret Box would do. What is there? Not seeing much movement there, Freya.
I see purple, but it's not. It's Gimme Ghoul and it's Genesect.
Okay. Oh, it is. Is that the Arven as well?
It's
Boss's Orders is an option. With one Gimme Ghoul, you're going to ask how many cards your opponent has in hand. How likely is it there's going to be a Boss's Orders Claw of Darkness play from Edwin next turn? I mean, Edwin had pretty much the textbook opener.
Yeah, maybe there's a debate over whether...
There is an Arven. You could still go for a setup turn here, Freya.
Yeah, that's a debate, right? Do I value just taking out a Toad School more, or do I just want to get down as many Gimme Ghouls as possible? And I think this is a wise choice, Joe.
Yeah, I think you pretty much have to do this. No risks in game number 3 here of the Masters Division Final. You just have to use your Buddy Buddy Poffin and grab additional Gimme Ghoul in this instance. You can also grab yourself an Air Balloon. You probably would have to commit it if you wanted to this turn. Also, but with getting 3 Gimme Ghoul down, you could still look to use Minor Errand running here, Freya.
That's true, and that could be another great benefit, just to start to build up those energy so that you can make sure you have enough to KO those Megas later on. You can see there, looking at the crowd shots, everyone's super laser focused on this match, and how can you not be? Like, these two, masterful display between these two players.
Yeah, it is tense here in our game number 3. Air Balloon flashed from Drew as well. Not shuffling up just yet, I think is just making that decision of whether or not to Errand run. I think it's a great way to get a surplus of your energy all in the hand, but it will also be the Metallic Signal from Genesect EX, going to fill that final bench slot for Drew.
Very nice to bank that. Just in case Edwin ends up deciding Ino is the supporter of Torch for a turn, then you're able to find those Gold Dingo again on the next turn, and even if they don't, then you just have even more. You can have all the coin bonus, you have all the draw, and drawing cards does win games, believe it or not.
So Drew does have a couple superior energy retrieval in the hand, so again is in a little bit of fear of Claw of Darkness. But can't really do much about that. Using one right now for just 2 energy doesn't seem that valuable.
Yeah, is there any way to maybe draw some more cards, get some more energy in the discard pile? No, not really.
I mean, you could pay retreat into a Gimme Ghoul if you wanted to. Yeah, the Minor Errand running is being spied here. Metal energy to the bench Gimme Ghoul.
Sure, it's going to be.
It is going to be superior by the looks of things, Fred. Just going to get the value of what we can out of it. But that effectively burns 2, right? You're getting half the value for the one you use, and then you could still lose the other to Claw of Darkness.
Yeah, that's kind of my worry here. And discarding a Boss's Orders as well.
Painstaking choices for Drew here. The threat of that Claw of Darkness is really looming on his mind, as well as having to remember about the Toad Scroll. At any point, he could lose the access to the superior.
Yeah, no Minor Errand running. Oh, wow, the Toad Scroll top deck for turn.
That's a really intriguing top deck for Edwin. The timing of this card will really dictate the outcome of this match. He'll begin with a run errand, not going to rush any decision just yet. Bravery Charm is the pickup, as well as the Earthen Vessel. I believe there's already energy in the hand for Edwin, so shouldn't have too much difficulty powering up this Mega Absol EX. Could do an interesting line of Bravery Charming a Toad School, perhaps, and then evolving the other. If that was available, you could make it difficult for any Cosmic Beam shenanigans, but no, we're going to be Bravery Charming up on our Mega. Then we're going to be using our Subjugating Chains. It's going to be Absol back into the firing line. Not much else to play here. It's going to be a boss's orders by the looks of things, Freya.
I guess you could go ahead and bring up that Gimme Go with the energy on it, just because that's one more in the discard pile. But no, actually just going to target this Genesect. Okay. It won't be a KO, but just kind of keep it stuck in the active.
You've just seen Drew take an Air Balloon, but is that the card you're going to choose to take out here?
No, there's a tourist scenario as well.
There's both in the hand. Tough break for Edwin.
So this is actually, in a way, it's kind of low-key good for Drew, because no matter what, he can retreat this Genesect and get an attack off. And the superior energy retrieval is, maybe that is just the best choice, given if you can retreat anyway.
Yeah, well, when there's 2 pivots, maybe you just take the superior out now.
Yeah.
And say, well, Drew, I tried. I tried to put some damage around the board and be cheeky with it. And at least, you know, an Air Balloon commitment means you can still use Monkey Dory later on in the game to finish off this Genesect EX.
Don't forget,
and also don't forget that Edwin also has that Evel Toll at his disposal later on in the game, so he can do this strange subjugating chains, poison, package, and try and lock Pokemon like Lunatone.
Drew just drew another Professor Tourist scenario for turn.
Well, that's intriguing. I mean, using it now does have its flaws, because at some point you still have to be aware of Evel Toll. That might not actually be the best draw in the deck, Freya, because it would open up Edwin to have that line of play later on in the game with that Evel Toll, with that clutch. You can do it so easily on Lunatone. And with your own poison, you could find a way to finish this Genesect that you've previously damaged. It's an interesting top deck. I'm not sure if it's something he slams down early on here, Drew.
But something is going to slam down is all 3 of this Golden Go EX, so plenty of coin bonus action to come this turn. Just a matter of how he's going to start things off beforehand. 3 fighting energy in the hand, asking for a hand count once again, just to keep weigh up the odds of what Edwin is likely to be able to do next turn. Here we go, coin bonus number 1 finds a Soul Rock.
Not anything too handy just yet for Drew. Still has plenty of draws that are available, the potential to Lunar Cycle as well. Such an interesting moment we have ourselves in this final match, Freya. Air Balloon will be the commitment. Ooh, no, thinking twice about it. We're going to see one more card from Coin Bonus before any other action.
Fighting Gong is a great find. That's one more energy closer to a knockout here. And I think what Drew might be thinking is if I can go ahead and get the KO with this Golden Ring X on this Absol, then that deals with the damage that could be moved to KO the Genesect anyway, so I don't mind that as much. Oh, and actually finds another Vessel off of the Coin Bonus.
Wow, we're getting to a huge surplus of energy.
This might be enough for the knockout, you know.
And Drew might have found himself in the position where, because you've drawn this Professor Toro scenario, you have to knock out the Mega Absol.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to get clutch trapped. So maybe you have to fall prey to a potential Slime Mold colony later on. And once again, folks, that Super Rod towards the top of the prize cards. Another factor in Drew's thinking here, as it is going to be the Earthen Vessel for more and more fighting energy coming into this hand, Freya.
2 in the hand, well, 2 found from the Earthen Vessels. I believe there's 7 in the hand already. So with the Bravery Charm, that will be enough for a KO. Just going to take some last chances to look at the discard pile, just to make sure this is going to be the right approach. Asking for how much time is left, just to make sure he takes time to consider this properly. 19 minutes left on the clock. We can see it. All of you guys at home can see it. Everyone in the audience can see it. Does it make it rain for 350 damage? That will be a free prize knockout on this Mega Absol.
Drew Stephenson taking half the prize cards in one attack. Now just 3 remain. Confirmation there that its boss's orders picked up, not the Super Rod. So there's at least 7 energy in that discard pile right now, Freya, after that attack alone. Edwin, we know he's been holding on to that Toad Scroll from the previous turn being drawn. So can he initiate this lock and power up another Pokemon to be threatening here? First of all, it's going to be Earthen Vessel, going to throw away that backup Kangaskhan, grabbing a couple of Darkness Energy. Is this where he starts to pivot towards the likes of his Petulant EX? There is a Dark Energy already in play. If Edwin can weave in Energy Switch, he could start using Irritated Outburst. It's going to be the run errand, drawing a couple of cards. Town Store picked up. Is that the Energy Switch as well in the hand now?
No, not Town Store. That's the Lively Stadium coming in.
Yeah.
It's the other stadium.
Yeah, that's another way to just push your Pokemon a little bit further out of range. Flip the script coming in for some cards for Edwin as well. Into the Arven play.
Slam that down very, very quickly. So Edwin clearly has a plan. It was to find that Ultra Ball. And
grabbing that Evel Toll. Is it time to buy time with Clutch and Subjugating Chains? You've put some really solid damage onto that Genesect EX, knowing that if you poison your own Evel Toll, you can find room with Penny, make some space for yourself to put Monkey Dory into play, and slowly, by poisoning your own Pokemon, take out multiple prize cards whilst being safe behind your Clutch trap.
Yeah, I mean, this has to be the way, right? Especially knowing that Drew, you've already managed to get rid of one Professor Turo scenario with the Claw of Darkness, so there's only one more in Drew's deck. Once again, perfect list knowledge. There's not going to be any surprise for Turo scenario coming out or anything like that.
Darkness Energy commitment then to our eval toll. We're going to subjugate that Darkness Pokemon into the active position. It's going to be the counter catcher into the Lunatone, as you would expect, as well as the Slime Mold Colony coming into the equation, and it's going to be a clutch for 2 damage counters. And Drew Stephenson already has the Professor Turo scenario in hand, I believe, Freya.
Yeah,
So
but
we'll have an easy way out of this lock.
It was the top deck from last turn, but the question is, how do you time this? Because you're kind of dealing with 2 threats at once. You're dealing with this Yveltal in front of you, stopping you from retreating, and you're dealing with this Toad Scroll that is not going to let you get back your energy that you need to win.
That means there's a lot of headache here, a lot of hurt for Drew Stephenson at this stage. There's 8 energy accounted for, 1 on the benched Go EX, 7 already in the discard pile. Drew's going to use his Metallic Signal simply to look at what resources remain. A couple of Metal Energy still rooting around in the deck for him. The Superior Energy Retrieval are there, but unusable right now. So Drew maybe even looking to weave in, picking up this Lunatone to free it from the trap of Clutch with that final copy of Professor Turo scenario, and maybe try and use that Soul Rock for some damage, but it's useful right now whilst Edwin doesn't have space for Monkey Dory on this board.
I have a question for you, Joe. Is there ever a universe where you Turo up this Lunatone, and then you start manually powering up this Genesect to attack with it as a last-ditch resort?
Well, I mean, if we had Super Rod, I'd be a bit more pro that idea. That's committing basically all your energy to a Pokemon with 20 hit points remaining. Yeah. And it's going to take a long time.
It's not a great feeling no matter which way you look at it.
Trust me, I found myself in that position before against a Toad Scroll playing the Golden Go deck. I have had to attack with Protect Charge. Didn't feel great.
No.
No, not at all. Here we are, though. Drew, those sorts of thoughts will be going through his head at this moment, Freya. He's ahead in the prize race, but the board is becoming so chaotic for him. With one really clever Claw of Darkness from Edwin, he's got rid of a key piece from Drew.
Maybe then the key here for Drew is to kind of be patient in the sense that he knows that Edwin will eventually have to knock out this Lunatone. Like, you do enough clutches, it only has 110 HP. Will 5 turns of clutch retreat lock be enough to take down the game for Edwin?
Well, what it would do for Edwin is hopefully finish off that damage Genesect with Poison Play. Again, Edwin would have to clear up his own board position. He'd have to penny up a Pokemon, grab Monkey Dory, slam an energy onto it, start using that subjugating change to damage the Yveltal even further. And Drew Stephenson committing that final copy of the Professor Turo scenario, and it's going to be for Genesect EX at this moment. This is a critical decision in game number 3 of our Masters Division final here, folks.
And to me, what this telegraphs, Joe, is that his plan is going to be put down that Mega Mawile and start attaching energy to it.
I have to agree with you, Freya. I feel like with 3 prize cards taken, it's a really useful attacker. But Edwin will have plenty of time to accumulate some key resources whilst continuing a clutch trap. Still can fix the ball position. It's passing action over.
Hey.
Poison tick over on Edwin's side on the Yveltal. And looking at a Lily's Determination right now, could simply retreat first. Yep, it's going to be a run errand before any other action here.
Finds Jumbo Ice Cream, not going to be very useful now that there's not much energy on the board. Yep, just going to be straight back into that Yveltal with the subjugating chains, Poison coming in.
And with the hand size so large, you don't even really want to use this Lily's Determination. You're just going to rely on run errand to get you towards a Penny Monkey Dory combination. So it will just be another turn of clutch here and another turn of Poison racking up.
Actually, the more I think about it, this Turo on the Genesect from Drew was really, really heads up, especially thinking about how many turns of clutch that Edwin has to work with before he has to use it on something that can attack. I think Drew might have just found the path to win this game, even under this retreat lock, just picking up the right target and recognizing that 3 turns of clutch, or 3 more turns of clutch, is not enough for Edwin to win.
A calm and patient approach then from Drew Stephenson, who has, by the looks of things, oh, there's the penny pickup for Edwin. Does that change things? Can he start making full use of the subjugating chains Poison, as he did so well in that game number 1? I have to feel he wants to clean up this board in any way possible. We'll begin with subjugating chains, once again poisoning this Yveltal.
Is Monkey Dory ready to go in the hand? Yes, it is. So is the Dark Energy. So that would then finally be a way to start moving some of this damage over.
But do you pick up the Pheasantipity EX here, Freya? Do you pick up the Toad School? Yeah, that's going to be the claim. Getting that out as an easy prize card option for the opponent. Here comes Monkey Dory, Darkness Energy attachment, and we can start to fling some damage. I think you want to start prepping this Mawile if we can. Yes, we are.
I think, again, just the problem is, sure, you can start putting damage on this Mawile, but you still have 6 prize cards left to take, and you have 2 more turns of clutch to work with. That poison damage, it is ticking up, but 1 Adrenaline Brain each turn, I don't think it's going to get you there before Drew can take the last 3 prizes. Unless
well,
missing.
what you can do is prep the Mega Mawile and be the first to hit it. If you can use Energy Switch attach, Kangaskhan can knock out the Mawile before any attack. You've still got the Slime Mold Colony. Edwin's still creeping closer here. Might just have enough time to do it.
The Adrenaline Brain combo plus Mega Kangaskhan would do the trick, absolutely.
Only 270 hit points on that Mega Mawile at full hit points. Already down to 240. Drew is forced to pass here, not even using the coin bonus at this stage. Edwin, however, will continue to draw with the run errand. Has that free 3 damage to float with the Monkey Dory once again, and will almost definitely continue to target down that Mega Mawile EX. That 6 damage counter threshold would allow you a terminal period play as well, so you wouldn't have to rely on Kangaskhan. So again, you could try and like clean up your board in that regard. With those energy switch within the list, it's all possible for Edwin.
Does find just a Pokegear off of that Arven, just wanting to find as many options for supporters as possible, knowing again there's no hand disruption in Drew's deck. There's another Adrenaline Brain coming in, putting 3 more damage onto this Mega Mawile. Now only...
Yep, I love to see it. Mist Energy coming onto the Mega Kangaskhan. Edwin recognizing that a boss's orders play next turn would allow him to take 3 prize cards back at Drew, who once again has commit at least 1 energy resource onto this Mega Evolution Pokemon. It's boss's orders on Drew's side of things. Here's that little bit of action, trying to bring up the Toad Scroll, trying to find a turn. Is this where the action happens? Of course, we can always subjugate back into our Yveltal, but we're denying the run errand.
Hold on, that's a Bravery Charm onto that Mega Mawile. Suddenly you're out of range, even with an Adrenaline Brain from this attack from the Rapid Fire combo.
And that little bit of hit point difference might make all the difference here. 260 hit points remain. You can still clutch and poison here, but crucially, because you pushed that Yveltal out the way, it didn't take an additional tick of poison damage.
And that additional tick of poison damage that has been reduced, combined with the Bravery Charm, suddenly this Mega Mawile is not in range of a guaranteed KO, and we might have to see a coin flip to do it instead.
Well, at some point, you have 1 more clutch turn here, but it might come down to a rapid fire combo heads flip. I know I'm commentating to try and make things as exciting as possible, but I know I want to see it.
1 more clutch. 10 HP away from being knocked out on this Lunatone. Drew playing it very, very patiently, recognizing exactly what Edwin is doing and recognizing exactly what he needs to do to secure his future besides that.
I can't help but laugh, Freya, because I saw Edwin already flicking the boss's orders in hand, thinking, is my tournament going to be decided by Kangaskhan rapid fire combo flips? He's just had to sit through the Seniors Division final, backstage collecting his thoughts for the match himself. He's just seen Kangaskhan win on the stage. Will it happen one more time? Drew Stephenson, all of these plays have been to get himself in the position of maybe a 50-50 as well. He's done so well to recognize the Bravery Charm plus the boss's orders was exact math here to protect himself for a turn. He's been so patient at this stage. Mega Mawile EX, of course, the card that he has been backing to the hilt. Many other pilots of the Golden Go deck not opting for this card, but this could be the turn.
Pass it over. This is going to be the crucial turn. Yveltal will knock out this Lunatone if it goes for the attack again. So now Edwin has to make this crucial decision. What is the move? Do you just slam it all down? You do boss, retreat, rapid fire combo, and leave it all to a coin flip? I think you kind of have to, right?
Coin flip gaming here, potentially. It's going to be Monkey Dory first. You can still put the Mawile down a little bit in damage, but it's just going to be knocking out the active here. Mid-turn with Adrenaline Brain.
Okay.
Prize pickup for Edwin. Going to be an Arven. I don't think that changes too much, but it does give Drew a decision here. Drew has spent already, I think, at least 1 air balloon and some of those Professor Terra scenarios. So has to be careful about what Pokemon is brought into the active here.
I think I do like Golden Go with the Metal Energy most out of the options. But
it's one of those things where it's not actually that threatening of a Pokemon with the Slime Mold Colony still established.
No, which is exactly one of the issues. But with
headache for Drew Stephenson here.
I guess
time is also ticking down, by the way. I was not expecting the finals to go this long, but it has flown by.
7 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. A crucial decision is going to be that golden go with the metal energy already on it. Or maybe it isn't. Oh, he's just as unsure as we are. No, he's actually just going to send up Mega Mawile.
Wow. Well, here we go, folks. Mega Kangaskhan EX coming into the active position. Run errand for a couple of cards. Darkness Energy commitment to the Petron EX.
Great finisher. The more prize cards your opponent's taken can do some big damage. Gonna do a quick count of the amount of cards in deck.
Deck remaining for Edwin. He's gonna use an Arven here. We'll grab the Night Stretcher. Just another resource coming out. Use the Arven while you can. Edwin in full confidence that Drew will never disrupt this hand. So you're basically giving yourself access to close the game out here. And it's time, folks. The dice is coming into the hand. Edwyn Mesman, rapid fire combo.
It's a tails! The Mega Mawile survives the rapid fire combo! Oh my god, indeed, Drew Stephenson. And with that, does he have enough to close the game here and now? I think he's going through it. There's the Earthen Vessel. He's checking how many energy he has left in deck. There's the other energy coming in. It's still not quite a KO.
Yeah, the gobble down attack with only 3 prize cards taken, 240 damage. But Drew already shaking his head. Relief.
Yeah.
It could have been all over.
But that's the thing, right? It's not all over, but it's also not won for Drew yet either. There's still some decisions here for him.
The game is still a long way away. Drew making sure 50 hit points remain thanks to that bravery charm. Such a great call out earlier on in this game as he's had to patiently sit and let Edwin unleash that trap. Drew Stephenson had to be so clever and careful with that one use of Professor Toro scenario. Edwin's so quick to cherry pick that one with his only use of Claw of Darkness in this game, number 3.
Is the play now, if you have it, just attach the energy and then boss's orders, bring this up?
Oh, there's Petron. Oh, there's Petron EX.
No, just a KO it so you can get the energy back.
But I mean, you can't leave this Mawile active, can you?
But the whole reason why
then you can still get enough damage with the Golden Go later?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, right? I mean, how do you navigate this? Because you only need to take 3 more prize cards.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get energy back, you can use another boss to bring up a Petron and then just win the game that way.
But would Edwin once again unleash a clutch lock
then
the Soul Rock?
Yeah, the clutch lock is the one fear that is there in that case.
I mean, Edwin actually has a few cards remaining in the deck. Would have to INO at some point to stop themselves decking out. But I don't think that's too big of an issue. Drew, I mean, is already fist pumping at the fact that they're still in the game, but they still have so many challenges here.
I'll tell you what, no matter who wins at this point, both these players would have absolutely earned it. This is one of the best finals that we've had in a very, very long time. Both these players, just such a great matchup with the back and forth. They had so many key moments already, but it's all coming down to this as we just take these last few turns of the game. And Drew goes for a coin bonus. Does have the boss's orders ready in hand, but does go for another coin bonus. It is just going to be this decision now. What do you do? Do you hit into this Mega Kangaskhan? Do you pass? Do you deal with this Toad Scroll? It's a really, really tough call for Drew.
Metal energy commitment for Drew Stephenson then. Another big decision. It is going to go on to the Mega Mawile, so we can gobble down this turn. 80 times the amount of prize cards you have taken. Talk about a win more card. The closer you get to ending the game, the more powerful this attack becomes.
I mean, if it wins more games to the point where Drew wins enough to win the International Championships.
One more, that wouldn't be bad.
4 cards left in the deck. It's a great point you made about the INO, Drew, because it will have to come down eventually. The boss's orders comes down. What is the target, Drew?
Drew knows he can't simply punch this Mega Kangaskhan EX. It's too easy for Edwin to get 2 attacks in to close the game here. So has to use the boss's orders and has to choose the correct target. It's going to be the Petron EX in this instance. It would be a clean knockout. Drew Stephenson going down to 1 prize card remaining. Action back over to Edwin, who takes the Super Rod from prize cards as well. That's a big pickup.
Super Rod might just be enough to help Drew close out this game. Recognizing that's probably why he went for the KO there, the 2 prize cards to give himself the maximum odds of picking up that Super Rod. That's huge.
Yeah, there is 1 energy on that benched Golden Go EX. So Super Rod allows Drew to have a final knockout of a single prize Pokemon. It is going to be boss's orders. Here comes the clutch trap once again, though. Edwin going to initiate that lock. And this is where the fear once again becomes that he can continue to clutch away the game here.
But there is a very big problem and difference now. That Soul Rock, if you can just get a Lunatone down, you can just attack for 70 damage, and then you force Edwin to have another Gusting card to stall the Lunatone.
Well, it's down to resources at this stage. It has been so much of the equation during this game. Mega Mawile EX stands at 40 remaining hit points. If Drew announces an attack with the Soul Rock here, it would give Monkey Dory even more damage to play with.
But not enough to KO it. Oh, no, would it be enough to KO it?
Again, with Penny, there's the option.
Oh,
you could Penny, use another Monkey Dory.
Trying to brain twice, the Taunt Special.
Yeah. You always have to think about those pennies. They can end up being damage modifiers in this situation. Drew having a good look at those resources.
One boss's orders left. That picked up from the prizes, I believe, along with that Super Rod. So 2 huge prizes for Drew.
And it's only 1 minute and 30 left on the clock here, Freya. With Edwin trying to win on board state, that could also come into effect.
Yeah.
Drew will be benching that Lunatone. Well, I actually think there may have been an announcement of Cosmic Beam, so we'll just get, no, it's just going to be the pass then.
Yeah.
No Lunatone in play.
Forgot to put it down.
Yeah, so just a Poison Tick coming over. Edwin straight away going to be Adrenabraining over to that Mawile, and once again a clutch. In quick time as well. Edwin very aware of the remaining time on this clock, and that's going to be really influential towards the end game here.
Yeah, 1 minute left on the clock. Drew is by far having the prize lead. Maybe he can just about do enough to hold Edwin back to win on time.
Would be huge. We have +3 turns after the mammoth 75-minute treat that we have just witnessed. Here's the Super Rod plucked from the prize cards. 3 fighting energy coming back into the deck here for Drew Stephenson.
Vital pickup from the prize cards. Without that, I'm not sure if you have a way to fully close out this game. It's at this point, Lunatone coming down. Do you just go for the Cosmic Beam? Yeah, I think it, or no, is it just give me a pass?
Wiggling the hand, it's a pass over to Edwin. 25 seconds
No.
remain. Oh, it is
no,
going to be
it is
an attack.
attack. Okay,
so we are announcing the Cosmic Beam. A Poison Tick as well.
Yeah.
So 90 total damage.
2 poisons plus 70, that's 90.
Yep, happy there. Of course, we're hitting through resistance with Cosmic Beam. And now another challenge for Edwin. Here we go. Let's finish off this Mega Mawile EX first with Adrenabrain.
Is that?
We're just making sure.
They're doing the count together. I do believe it's enough. Yeah, it is.
Getting to 330 damage, I think it was, after the 3 heal from Adrenabrain. 3 prize cards for Edwin. 2 remain here.
If you have Energy Switch plus Petrant plus Boss, won't that be the game there?
2 copies of Energy Switch within the deck. Also just kind of look to see, there it is, the Night Stretcher coming to hand, Freya.
Night Stretcher, Dark Energy. Is the boss's orders in the hand? There it is. That's going to be enough steal on the gold Dango. Edwyn Mesman is your EUIC champion! Wait. No, that's 300.
What's happened?
Drew doesn't realize. I mean, Drew thought that it was the opponent's prize cards. No, it does 300 damage. That will be enough. Edwyn Mesman taking down hometown hero Drew Stephenson in a slugfest of a finals here at the London XL. And he's got to be feeling mega proud of himself right now.
Mesmerizing stuff from Edwyn Mesman. The interview before with Ross saying that he was about to prove why he's the best. I think he's done a pretty good job of that, Freya.
I think he absolutely has, and you've got to hand it to Drew Stephenson. Huge commiserations. He was so close to finally breaking his duck, finally breaking the UK's duck at the International Championships. But the UK's title and Drew's own title will have to wait for another time.
Edwyn Mesman with the Mega Absol Kangaskhan archetype. All of the chatter, all of the talk coming into this tournament was, you're crazy to not be playing the Dragapult, the Golden Go, the Gardevoir, or the Charizard. This basic deck, this creation, initially coming from Tord Reckliffe, the great mind that is, the only real deck keeping this archetype under the thumb was meant to be Golden Go, but he's found a way.
Toad Scrawl was the way. It wasn't Moltres, it wasn't Cornerstone Mask Ogapon, it was the little Toad Scrawl that could, and that really did win in Game 1 and 3.
Absolutely exceptional scenes there. Such great recognition so early on in the game. Edwin, with complete list knowledge, could with confidence Core of Darkness away one of the 2 copies of Professor Terra Scenario, knowing that as the game progressed over and over again, with the protection of Toad Scrawl, he would be able to take full advantage of that E-Beltol, and did so with perfection.
I know about you, Joe, but I think we should throw it over to Ross and Edwin so we can have our winners interview on stage. Let's hear it from our Masters Division TCG champion.
Thank you very much, Craig. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we can go louder. Let's hear it. for your Master Division TCG champion, Edwyn Mesman! That's more like it. Edwin, congratulations, standing here on stage as a European international champion. You told me before the game you were going to prove you're the best. How good does it feel to be a man of your word?
Very good. Yeah, I don't even know. It was so close, so stressful. I don't know what to think.
I'll tell you what, I was talking to your friend before and they were telling me you like a deck that gives you agency. You like to have a lot of tricks. You had to use all of your tricks in that game. It looked stressful watching it backstage. How stressful was it playing that out?
It's hard, you know, doing all the math, just looking at all lines, looking at this discards. So stressful.
Well, you did it. You've crowned yourself a champion. You've brought this title to the European region. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for your Masters Division champion, Edwyn Mesman!